Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another pre-market watch list here today inside the Boiler Room Trading. So today we're going to go over some stocks. Of course, as always, to be blunt with my honest opinion, I'm not super excited about today's trading day so far. I haven't really seen anything I'm super excited about trading. So we're going to go over the stocks that I do see a little bit of potential in and that we're going to keep our eye on. We are going to recap some things on the market, how the market did yesterday. We're going to touch on blue chip stocks. I know I've been going over a lot of blue chip stocks lately. It's not necessarily because I want to trade them any more than I want to trade penny stocks. But as of right now, essentially, that's just kind of what there is to trade. And that's really just it. There isn't too much more, that's primarily it. A lot of the blue chip stocks are in play, and the penny stocks right now haven't been doing so hot. There were a few good ones recently, but again, we're going to start looking at some of these stocks. Yeah, I'm not sure who dislike, but I don't know. I must. Who knows? I don't even care, to be honest. So yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in. Let's hopefully have a green trading day, and let's get started here. So I'm gonna start sharing the screen so we can take a look at some stocks, and then go from there. All right, and we're gonna share. Wait, which screen? Screen 4, screen 2. Let me try something here. That's the screen I need. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So here we are. First stock I do want to talk about is, I'll touch on this one now that it's on my screen. So this is INPX. It is a penny stock. It's been downtrending and it's been kind of flatlining for a long time, as you can see. It spiked once before, and it always has a few little spikes in here throughout its history. So this one does have some potential. It started spiking yesterday. It looks like they may have received some news a couple days ago. There isn't any new news that's driving this stock up. It's more or less probably just a momentum play that picked up out of nowhere. So I know that there might be some of you that are watching INPX. Okay, some of you might be watching INPX, and if you are, be a little cautious, just because there's really no news that's actually driving this price action up from what I can see. The most recent news update was from 3 days ago. Something about, was it less than a meter per second? To be honest, I don't know. I'm not going to read it, but I know the news is from a couple days ago, and it didn't do anything a couple days ago. So be a little careful on that. But this could be one we could see continue to run up. So this one is just more of a speculative play to keep on your watch list just in case. All right. I will take a look at ENPH. I will talk about Tesla. We will talk about maybe McDonald's, AHPI. Okay. So we're going to talk about a few of them. I'll go over some of the stocks that you guys are looking at as well. So on to the next one. I got them written down here. So on to the next one. Let's look at Facebook. Bam. Facebook crushed it yesterday. So far, it's up pre-market. So it's doing pretty well today. There are some news reports on it this morning that's saying that there's much more that's worse. There's much more that's going to come to Facebook in regards to negative news. It said that the storm is not over for that data breach. So do take some time to read the news on Facebook here this morning, because it is kind of interesting, and there is some news regarding what's been going on with Facebook. So I do suggest watching that. Now, if we look at Facebook on a yearly time frame, this is what I want to talk about. And I told everyone in our trading room here that I know I've been saying it for a while to watch Facebook and watch the blue chip stocks and so on. And I've been saying it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it's probably getting boring. But the reason we do that, and the reason we always talk about watching the same stocks over and over and over again like this, is because eventually they're going to turn around. And if you're not paying attention every single day, you're going to miss that move, and then you're going to be kicking yourself. So though it may be boring to watch a same stock over and over and over every day, you got to do it in order to find those good setups, right? They're not going to just, it's very unlikely that you're going to stumble across a really good setup. It happens, but it's not likely. Okay. You have to be watching the market every single day. So if we look at Facebook here, back a few months, probably back about a year ago, you could say now. In this time frame, the 150 mark was a strong support, and then we went high, and then of course we came down. And where does it look like we're at? We're right at the $150 mark. We've tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. We've dropped down to the 150 mark 5 times on Facebook and have failed to break through. So I would recommend watching Facebook for maybe a little bit of a long. They still have that negative news lingering over their head that could keep them from really pushing higher. But right now, on a technical standpoint, we're right at support on Facebook, okay? Right at support. And this is something you'd want to watch for a long bias trade. Now, granted, we're on a technical support level. That's not the only reason Facebook had a really good day yesterday. The reason Facebook also had a really good day yesterday was because the market had an extremely good day. Okay, the market bounced really hard yesterday. So that is also a contributing factor to why Facebook had a good day, why NVIDIA had a good day, why Tesla had a good day. A lot of these blue chip stocks yesterday that ended up having a really good day was in relation to the market having a really good day. Okay. I have not gone over SNOA yet. I will go over SNOA. I'll talk about a few of these other stocks. I'll try and not be very long with the stocks I'm recommending so we can take a little bit of time to look at your guys as well. Sound good? Sounds good to me. All right. So we'll get to them. So just kind of hold off on them for a little bit, because if you send them in right now in the chat, they're going to get pushed up the feed and then I might miss them. So let's try and save them for the end, and then I'll definitely take a look at them. All right. So just know right now that the market is bouncing. It is bouncing significantly. It's actually bouncing really hard. Okay. This is my game plan. This is kind of how I see it, right? You're going to hear analysts saying that the market's coming back. We've bottomed. The market's don't listen to them. They're all, not that they're full of it, but they don't have a crystal ball and they cannot predict the future. I guess it kind of, but ideally, whenever you hear analysts say that this is happening, when you hear the news, everyone is going to have a different story on news. They're all going to try and justify what's happening with, this news, or they're going to try and justify what's happening in the market because futures are down, or because gold's up, or the China imports, or the tariffs, or the fact that Donald Trump tweets 2 hours out of every day on Wednesday, right? Or some kid forgot to take his lunch to school at an elementary school in North Carolina, right? There's always going to be some reason why something is happening, right? They're always going to have some type of something to justify what's happening, okay? But at the end of the day, like I told all the members in our trading group, in our trading room, the thing that does not lie about a stock is the chart, right? You could try and say the stock's going down because of news, or it's going down because, well, they got another company that's coming into the industry that's going to be a better competitor. So there's always going to be a reason why something's happening, and people are going to try and justify it. But the number one thing that does not lie to you in the stock market is the stock chart, okay? And right now, that stock chart, the stock market is basically telling us we are downtrending, right? So right now, you should always be listening to the chart, because the chart don't lie. Right now, the chart is saying that we are right now in a more of a long-term downtrend, right? Right now, we're going through a short-term technical bounce. This short-term technical bounce could, in fact, lead to another bull run, whereas this could essentially just be a mini correction, and then we do go higher. But you can't say that we're going to bounce and then we're going to start a new bull run, because we're still downtrending. So until we break out of the downtrend that we're in, or the descending triangle pattern, or the bearish pattern, you can't say we're bullish long-term, because we're already long-term bearish right now. Or, well, depending on how you look at it, right? Depending on how you look at it. But right now we're in a bearish pattern. So until we break out of the bearish pattern, you can't really be bullish, but you could be a short-term bullish, right? So that's what's happening. We're seeing a little short-term bullish bounce. Bottom line, that's all it is. You know, don't necessarily think that the market's going to recover and now it's going to go to $40,000, right? It could, but you shouldn't think that until there's a reason to. If the analysts say it, definitely don't listen to it. If institutions are saying it, I still wouldn't listen to it, right? Listen to the stock chart, because the stock chart tells you the whole story. Are people buying? Yes. Are people selling? Yes. That's where you're going to find out what's really happening, is the chart. All right. So right now, our chart is telling us that we bounced here before and we're starting to bounce again. Okay. That's all it is a technical bounce as of right now. With my game plan in mind, we're kind of looking at like a descending triangle pattern right now. And I personally feel that this bounce isn't over. Oh, that just messed everything up, didn't it? There we go. I personally think the bounce isn't over for the market. I think that we're going to go back up, and I'm going to draw in yellow so it stands out more. I think we're going to be bouncing somewhere in this $270, or sorry, not bouncing. I think we're going to come back up and at least test the $270 area. At least. Because if you look at what the chart looks like, it looks like a descending triangle pattern. And if you're not familiar, the way that these normally trade is like this, right? And then they go down. So they always tend to come up, they bounce, and then they come back up to retest the trend line, right? And if they keep following this trend line down, eventually they usually snap the support level, which is this line, and then they go really hard. They end up crushing and crashing really hard. So in more of a long-term perspective, that's the pattern we're in. But on a short-term bias, right? Short-term bias, we're bouncing, right? Short-term bias, you're bouncing right now, okay? So personally, like I said, we're definitely in more of a midterm, longer-term bearish pattern. We have a short-term bounce where I personally feel that we're at least going to come up and retest this 270 area where I just drew the red line. And it's very well possible that we're going to come all the way up and test this trend line, okay? Because if the buying pressure is strong enough and the bulls are still trying to win the battle and continue higher, we're at least going to test significant price points, okay? At least going to test significant price points. And an analogy that I can use is this. Oh, no, that's bad. That's bad, right? It's kind of like this. It's kind of like the saying, you got to give it your best shot, right? You'll miss all the shots you don't take kind of thing, right? So if you're playing a game and you think you're going to lose, and you might end up losing, right? But you still got to give it your best shot, because if you don't try, you're definitely going to fail, right? So if in fact, right, the market doesn't know if we want to crash yet, we at least have to go back and test some of these key spots, because if we don't at least do that, it's like we never even tried to keep the market from crashing. We just let it happen, you could kind of say, right? Of course, there's more that goes into that, but in order for the market to really go, we have to prove to ourselves that we're not going higher. If we can prove that right now we can't go higher, then that only leaves us one other resort. We're going to go lower, okay? But it's like that. If you get into a basketball game and you don't try to even win, then what's the point of even doing it, right? So that's what I'm getting at, is the market at least has to test the 270, maybe 275 again, the downward trend line, to at least prove to us that maybe in fact we don't want to go higher, okay? So that's enough of an analogy there on the market. And what's that mean? And I want to get to looking at some of your guys' stocks. So focus on Tesla again. Tesla bounced super hard. I wouldn't necessarily be long biased on Tesla because they had such a big day yesterday that I don't necessarily suspect it's going to have an astronomically big day again. It could have a little increase. And if it's a little bit, maybe you can get in on some short-term day trades, but it's not going to be one where you want to hold all day. So personally, I like Tesla, Facebook, and NVIDIA. Now, some of the penny stocks that, of course, we're going to watch here this morning are going to be like SNOA. Let's see if this is doing anything again, because I know some of you guys are looking at this one. So let's cover this. We got 10 minutes here. Okay, so SNOA. And actually, let me read some comments here real fast. Let me go back up. Okay, so let me write this down so I don't forget them. So you want to take a look at ENPH, McDonald's was one, MCD, AHPI, and I'll try and give you a quick little thought process on these stocks. Most of them I can tell you right now that I'm reading are not going to be good to trade. Just by the names of them, I know them, I remember them. NVAX, there's a lot of bag holders on NVAX. That's most likely one that I think is going to continue down. Do you think LC Golf stock is going to? Keeson, that's interesting. I didn't even know that, to be honest. AKER, that one's done for. I called that a couple weeks ago that it was going to dump. I wouldn't be fond of that one. Ball don't lie, baby. Seriously, ball don't lie, charts don't lie. FNJN's 160% increase on revenue. That could be interesting. Again, guys, I don't have a crystal ball and I can't tell the future, right? And I should manage a hedge fund. I was actually talking about that with my father the other day. He's seen some of the gains I've been making. My father's seen some of the gains I've been making over these past, I mean, just in general. And he wants me to trade his account for him. And I'm like, I don't want to lose your money, right? Calls for 270. Zarif calls for 270. Not a bad idea. I'm not saying for sure, but I thought about it. Let me put it this way. I had thought about doing 270 calls today. I did, it's going to sound crazy, but I did 200 contract calls yesterday for 265 and I made $10,000. It was a little less than 10,000, but again, 270 calls may not be bad. And again, we have options coming soon. I know everyone wants to learn them. They're coming, I promise. AYTU, any hope? Man, there's so many. Baba. All right, SNOA, sure, FB, AYTU. So we'll go over the ones I have. We got a good amount here. So first things first, SNOA. As you can see, it's up really big here this morning. It's up, what is it up? It's up, what, 40%. So SNOA up 40% this morning. Ideally, when we're looking at penny stocks that are gapping up, we want to see that when they gap up, right, they go up and then they hold their highs. So they don't start declining. This one's starting to decline this way. We normally want to see them stay flat, or what we want to do is see them come up, then they come down, and then they go like this, and they start creeping higher. And this is not doing that. Not to mention, I know they have good news and some FDA approval, but if you look at their yearly chart, you'll come to find that it's right at major resistance, which is right here. Okay, ready? I did this for the same thing in our traders in our group, right? You see that right there? That's the $5 mark, and it's the 200 moving average. All right, where's that price? That price is right at $5 or $4.99. And if you come back and you look at the 1 minute chart, and you look right there, the stock stopped right at $4.99 and $5. And if you go back, you'll see that that is exactly where the 200 moving average is, like right there. So it's right at major resistance. Right now, I wouldn't recommend this. I'm probably not going to trade it. Though it may have good news, it so far is rejecting major resistance, and it's declining. All right, what do we got? 6 minutes to go. All right, let's go. McDonald's. Let's see what's going on here. Based on the technical standpoint, we got a 1 year day chart. All right, so here we go. 1 year day, our 52-week high, highest it's been in a year, is at 178. It's shown maybe some support previously, kind of in this area, which we get. So yeah, that's relatively, that makes sense. Actually, yeah, I'd be long biased here on, I think that's not bad. I think I'd be long biased here on McDonald's because it's in an inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? So boom, boom. Yeah, that's an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is a bullish pattern. I'd be a little bit long biased on that. It's shown that it could hold support 1, 2, 3, 4 times on the 155 mark, right? So it's shown it can hold support here a couple times at 155. This is a inverse head and shoulders pattern. I have a bullish outlook on McDonald's. All right. What's next is AHPI. Just by the ticker, I'm feeling low volume. Let's see. Yeah. Don't trade that. I ain't trading that. Yep. See, look at this right here. This is exactly what low volume stocks look like. You don't want to trade that. You'll probably end up losing money. Not a safe trade. All right. Let's go to the next one. What do we got? By the way, we have 320 people watching the video. Please give me a like. Let's see if we can get over 100 and then even 200 likes. It takes you about 2 seconds, please. And thank you. I support you and love you. Thank you. All right, on to the next one, MOSY. All right, MOSY. This is a low volume stock. That's what low volume looks like. That's a no-go. Nope. All right, on to the next one, which was NVAX. NVAX. This isn't necessarily low volume, but let's take a look at this daily chat. ENPH. Did I miss ENPH? Maybe I'll step back and take a look at that already. Let's see. BPM max, way to go. What time is it? Oh, we still got, okay, so 3 minutes. So NVAX. Oh, then I must have been looking at a different one. So yeah, NVAX, it moves a little slower. It definitely does. It is a heavily traded stock. It is moving back up. I haven't followed this one for a while, but I can tell you right now, based on what we're seeing, it is a little bit bullish for sure. I can't deny that. Again, I don't really like it just because I never trade it. And I mean, I have traded it, but I'm not a huge fan of it. But right here, it is bullish. It's held support. It's starting to uptrend. It's possible that you could see it come all the way back up to retest this 260 mark. Does it mean it's going to happen? No, it doesn't. And the chart tells you a lot about a stock, right? If you look at this chart on a 3-year time frame, this thing went from $15 all the way down to, I don't know, 73 cents. From 15 to 73. What does that tell you? That means that clearly they aren't so good, right? But right now, short-term play might be all right, okay? So again, you know, and when you see stocks like this and you're thinking about trading them, you have to be asking yourself, are you trading or are you investing, right? Is it a trade or are you trying to invest, right? I wouldn't say invest, trade more or less, not invest, okay? So right now I do have a little bit of a bullish outlook on that. AKER. As I stated, I said this, I literally said this 3 weeks, no, that's a lie. I said this probably 2 weeks ago, to stay away from AKER. And if you're invested in it, just sell it because it's going to dump. I said that probably a week to 2 weeks ago. And sure enough, it's starting to dump. Nobody believed me. They were so caught up on the FDA approval and all this crazy news that they were getting that they were going to go forever, but nope, because it's a penny stock. This is just naturally what happens, okay? You trade the chart, you trade history and patterns, and long story short, AKER is most likely going to come back down to the 12-cent area. Not tomorrow, not in the next week, but it's definitely most likely heading back down to 10 cents, 15 cents, okay? And then the last one is FNJN. FNJN. Whoa, FNJN, it just looks like a flat line. You know, I don't know about FNJN. It's not really in any significant pattern. It's at resistance. Right now, I wouldn't say is a great time to buy. It's actually it's up pretty big from its lows. It has yet to really pull back and show us like a direction. So I would just be neutral. Be neutral on that. Don't necessarily be taking new positions. Just be neutral and watch it for right now. Looks like I'm drawing. So that's all I have for you guys here today on the watch list. I hope that helps some of you guys in determining what stocks you want to trade. I do have to get going here. So thank you guys once again for tuning in. Maybe I'll go through some of these things here. Yeah, I mean, I said it for, yeah, I literally did say it for about a month. You might be right on that. Oh, you know what? There's a lot of people talking about HMNY here this morning. Oh, what is it doing? Yeah, it's pretty sketchy. They got some news. I would just stay away from it, guys. Again, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of things today, but you know, if you don't feel comfortable trading today, don't trade. You don't always have to trade. Let's see. So again, there's tons of stocks to always go over. I can't look at them all. I wish I could. ENPH, did I not do ENPH? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know why I didn't do ENPH. All right. So real fast, we'll do this one real quick. So ENPH, if you look at it on a yearly time frame, you have a high, 52-week high at 558. Your 52-week low is at 65 cents. And then you could map off. It is uptrending. So this line right here, that is the long-term trend. All right, that's the long-term trend. And then this one here is the, you could say short-term. Is that wrong? I guess I would more or less want to do it from like, probably do it from here. This right now is the short-term trend. Short-term trend is most likely not to hold up versus long-term trend. You have a previous pivot point here. So yeah, right now it's definitely bouncing. Let me try something else real fast too. This actually kind of looks okay to be trading. Yeah. So what is my stand point? Where is my thing? What's going on? What? There we go. So yeah, technically speaking, it's bouncing right now. So this might actually go back up to reattempt its previous high. So yeah, maybe keep it on watch for potential long. I'd be long biased just because looks like it's bouncing, starting to bounce. So you can keep it on watch for a long, but it's already put in its high. So you do have to be a little cautious because it could easily go up and put in a lower high and then start downtrending, right? It could stop right there and then come this way. And it's had a good run. I don't follow ENPH, but I do have a little bit of a bullish outlook on it. So yeah, that's all we have here for you today. I hope that helps you guys. I hope you enjoyed this, the pre-market watch list. If you like it, of course, please like, subscribe, share the video to anybody you think they would find this useful. And always check out the description box below. That's how you can join into our live trading room where we basically do this all day and speak of different strategies. And then we have our group mentoring and whatnot. And so Facebook group, everything you need to know to stay in touch is all down below in the description box. And I'll catch you guys all tomorrow morning.